Born into a family of millionaires, Rupert felt anything but lucky. His father, Maxwell, had been unreasonably strict since childhood, controlling every aspect of his life. Unnecessary spending, any kind of mischief, even innocent pranks were met with swift punishment. Maxwell even kept a watchful eye on Elena, Rupert's mother, to ensure that despite her wealth, she did not indulge her son in any way. Rupert attended a normal school, blending in seamlessly with his peers from ordinary backgrounds. Unbeknownst to him, he was actually Elena's son from her first marriage. Her union with Maxwell wasn't driven by money, he was still building his business empire. Despite his love for his wife, Maxwell couldn't accept Rupert as his own. He constantly berated himself for being harsh, promising change only to fall back into his old ways. He treated Rupert coldly, belittled his accomplishments, and demanded more, leaving the young man yearning for his father's approval and love. But all he received was criticism. Eleanor silently watched her son's futile efforts, accepting her husband's unyielding nature. Rupert, unaware of his true parentage, clung to the hope of one day earning his father's respect. The endless reproaches of his childhood remained a constant source of pain, overshadowing even his mother's unwavering love. Even at 25, after graduating from the prestigious High School of Economics, Maxwell doubted his son's abilities. Finally, after much persuasion, he offered Rupert the chance to run one of the company's struggling subsidiaries for 3 months. Buoyed by the opportunity to prove himself, Rupert readily accepted, unaware of the dire situation he was stepping into. The branch was riddled with losses, high employee turnover, an overwhelmed HR department, and a growing workload falling on the shoulders of the remaining staff. Despite the daunting challenges, Rupert arrived at the office with a bright smile, a crisp suit, and a stack of files. Though apprehensive, his desire to prove himself outweighed his concerns. He began by engaging with the staff, analyzing individual performance to identify areas for improvement. He motivated some, demanded unwavering commitment from others, and treated some with empathy and kindness. His sincere efforts gradually paid off by earning the trust of the staff, and even the skeptical veterans, who initially doubted the abilities of a young man, eventually calmed down. Rupert's plans for reviving the company began to make progress. During this time, he found solace in the company of Grace, a friendly cleaning lady who knew everyone in the office. Her amiable personality drew everyone to her, and Rupert was no exception. He found comfort in her presence, and she became his confidant. One evening, as the office emptied, Rupert expressed his gratitude for her support and offered his help in return. "You always listen to me," Rupert said quietly, "and I don't know anything about you. If you need help, please just tell me, and I'll try to help in any way I can." "The situation is such that only a miracle can help," Grace sighed sadly. "My mother is sick at home, she needs an operation, so I had to go to work. The pay is much better here than where I worked before, and the schedule is convenient. Dad died a few years ago, and then our problems started. My mother got sick, and I quit school to take care of her. That's the story. I'm sorry you have to deal with everything on your own, you're very strong." Rupert was confused. He had no idea Grace had such problems, and felt sad, because she was so young and fragile. "I do not take back what I said, and I am willing to help, just as you are helping me," Rupert said. "That's what I liked about you, you're not at all arrogant, as everyone expected when we were told that the boss' son was going to run the branch." After such candid conversations, which could last for hours at the end of the workday, the couple felt a connection. They didn't become close friends overnight, but when Rupert walked into the building each morning, he felt an inexplicable joy at seeing Grace's smiling face. Despite her lack of a degree, Grace had a deep understanding of economics and gave sound advice. Seeing her fatigue, Rupert tried to relieve her of some of her responsibilities, but she categorically refused. Grace didn't want to take advantage of her boss' kindness. Grace, burdened by her own difficulties in caring for her ailing mother after her father's death, revealed her financial struggles and explained why she had taken the cleaning job. Rupert, moved by her strength and resilience, reiterated his offer to help. Their shared vulnerability forged a deeper bond. Though their relationship progressed slowly, he found himself inexplicably drawn to her kind smile each morning. Despite her lack of formal education, Grace possessed a deep understanding of business and offered insightful advice. Recognizing her valuable contributions, Rupert tried to lighten her workload, but she refused, unwilling to take advantage of her dynamism. Meanwhile, the subsidiary's fortunes were steadily improving. Maxwell, watching his son's success, began to recognize his abilities. But his deep-seated skepticism remained. Despite Rupert's long hours and dedication, Maxwell continued to challenge him. One day, Maxwell informed Rupert via video call of a potentially lucrative partnership. He delivered the news with his usual cynicism, enjoying the look of surprise on Rupert's face. Mr. Johnson, the potential partner, was known for his short temper and meticulousness. Only the most experienced and shrewd businessmen dared to approach him. Undeterred by his father's attempt to belittle him, Rupert remained focused. He was no longer driven by the need for his father's approval. His focus was solely on the success of the company. Mr. Johnson, a highly respected family man, preferred to do business with married partners, believing it reflected their commitment and character. This posed a challenge for Rupert. He realized that finding a suitable wife for the meeting was crucial, but his thoughts kept returning to Grace. Her warmth, intelligence, and supportive nature made her the perfect candidate. Hesitantly, he approached her with this unusual proposal. Initially stunned, she eventually agreed, recognizing the importance of the opportunity. Rupert sat Grace down after everyone had left. Hesitantly, he explained the upcoming meeting with Mr. Johnson and the crucial role a wife would play. Grace, surprised at first, listened intently as Rupert confided his fears about Maxwell's possible reaction. She understood the complexity of the situation, her own past hardships fostering a deep empathy for Rupert's struggles. "I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position," Rupert concluded, his voice tinged with concern. "Maybe it's best to find someone else." But Grace shook her head, a determined glint in her eyes. "This opportunity could be a turning point for you, Rupert, and frankly, I'm tired of being underestimated. Let's show them what we're both capable of." They spent the next few days practicing and strategizing how to effectively navigate the business dinner. They even role-played the dinner conversation, with Grace gracefully navigating social etiquette while subtly highlighting Rupert's strengths. On the day of the meeting, Grace, dressed in a stunning white pantsuit, turned heads as they entered the restaurant. Rupert, initially nervous, found his composure as Grace deftly engaged Mr. Johnson's wife in conversation. Ever the diplomat, Grace steered the conversation away from business at first, discussing local news and subtly shifting the spotlight to Rupert. Mr. Johnson, initially skeptical, warmed to Grace's genuine charm and intelligent insights. She subtly highlighted Rupert's leadership qualities while downplaying her own role as a mere trusted assistant, a description that elicited a playful yet affectionate nudge from Rupert. As the dinner progressed, Grace deftly navigated sensitive topics, deflecting awkwardness and keeping the conversation flowing. Her quick wit and insightful comments even earned her a compliment from Mr. Johnson, who remarked on the charming wife of his potential partner. The business discussion began after the main course. Grace, with her understanding of economics from her university studies, actively participated in the conversation, offering insightful suggestions and subtly challenging Rupert to elaborate on his ideas. Mr. Johnson, impressed by the genuine partnership and clear communication between Rupert and Grace, found himself warming to the proposal. He appreciated their youthful energy and commitment to the company's success. After a fruitful discussion, the contracts were signed. Mr. Johnson, his eyes twinkling with a genuine smile, leaned over to the couple and confessed, "You two remind me of me and my wife when we first started out young, full of energy, and hungry for success. It's refreshing to see that spirit burning brightly in the next generation." His wife, a woman with a warm smile and a kind look, echoed his sentiments, adding, "We truly believe in both of you and have high hopes for your future partnership and beyond. Remember, success isn't just about numbers, it's about building strong relationships and making a positive impact." News of the successful partnership hit Maxwell like a thunderbolt. He couldn't contain his curiosity and stormed into Rupert's office the next morning. Rupert, no longer hiding his triumphant smile, proudly introduced Grace as his guardian angel, who played a pivotal role in securing the deal. "I couldn't have done it without her, Dad," he said. "She's not just a cleaner, she's incredibly intelligent and insightful." Maxwell, infuriated by the revelation of an uneducated cleaner involved in such a high-stakes deal, erupted in a torrent of insults and accusations. But for the first time in his life, Rupert stood his ground. "Enough, Dad," he shouted, his voice firm and unwavering. "I have endured your negativity for far too long. Mom revealed the truth last night. I may not be your biological son, but I still love and respect you for raising me. I forgive you for the past, but I will not tolerate you disrespecting Grace." With newfound confidence and clarity, Rupert took Grace's hand and continued, "She is the woman I love, and I intend to marry her. No one, not even you, will stop me from protecting her." The fiery intensity in Rupert's eyes resonated with Maxwell, sparking a sense of remorse and shame. He was finally seeing the consequences of his harsh upbringing. Choking back a sob, Maxwell offered a sincere apology for all the pain he had caused. Touched by his father's genuine remorse, Rupert hugged him and whispered, "I forgive you, Dad." He then extended an olive branch, asking him to accept Grace. Maxwell, overcome with emotion, readily accepted her. Grace's mother, thanks to Rupert's financial support, received the best medical care and recovered quickly, allowing her to witness her daughter's happiness at her wedding. After the wedding, Grace resumed her studies and excelled in economics. Rupert, meanwhile, continued to lead the company to new heights, silencing any lingering doubts about his abilities. Their journey, despite its early challenges, became a testament to the power of love, resilience, and believing in oneself even in the face of a father's disapproval. And as they looked to the future, they knew that their unconventional beginnings had paved the way for a success story that was truly their own.